Namaskar, dear seekers, and welcome to home for this special live stream that we have today. We have for quite some time didn't have this question answer topic, so we'll resume today with this special event that takes place tomorrow. There is this event of Eclipse, and our live stream is of 1 hour durations. And what we will speak today is about to understand the hidden influence that an eclipse can have on humanity, on us. So you can also ask your question. We have two seekers who are there to collect all your questions from YouTube, Facebook. So don't hesitate to share any questions that you have, of course, about this topic, as well as spirituality. So first, I would like to introduce myself in short. My name is Cyriaque. I'm originally from France. I practice spirituality now for more than 25 years. And I live in India for more than 10 years in an ashram. And since 2019, we were traveling across Europe in caravan. And now we are establishing an ashram in Germany for SSRF. And SSRF is an acronym of the Spiritual Science Research Foundation that was founded in 2006 with the blessing of His Holiness Dr. Giant Balaji Attavi, that is a saint from higher order from India. And on our website, we have a big library of articles. So I really invite you to study the different subject and topics that we have about spirituality, spiritual practice. We have more than 900 articles. And we have also spiritual research. And in conjunction with the Maharishi University of Spirituality, we also conduct workshops as well. We do research using biofeedback device, and many of our research also are published on our website. We have made available some online platform if you want to learn practical steps about spirituality. So we have made all these platform open and free to all so that we can progress. This is one of the main aspects is SSRF helps seekers of how they can grow spiritually. So about our live stream today, first what we will do before we start to achieve some kind of state of mind or some concentrations, we can either meditate, you can focus on your breath or repeat a divine name or mantras that you are doing. We'll do that for 2 minutes and then we will start with the live stream. In the background, we'll play a divine name.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
So, dear seekers, we will start with our live stream. And some of you are joining us now. Today we will have a live stream. It is of 1 hour durations. I will be sharing some point for around 10 to 15 minutes. And then, of course, the remaining will be interaction with you. Any questions that you have about this topic or about spirituality, spiritual practice, we have two seekers and we will be collecting all your questions on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. So don't hesitate. You can start writing questions. And today we have a special topic. I don't know if some of you are planning to watch tomorrow that solar eclipse that will take place in USA and Canada. And of course, it's a event that happen once for some in a lifetime and may be very interesting to see. But did you wonder and understand is there any hidden influence on us, or what can be the spiritual influence it can have on us? So I will be sharing a few points. So what we will focus today mainly is see what we meant now by that hidden influence, or what we mean by spirituality, spiritual vibrations. You see, whatever happen, either an event or an action, actually there are vibrations, and these vibrations are generated and can have either a positive effect on us, or it may have a negative effect on us, with or sometimes without our knowledge, because spiritual vibrations are usually subtle and may not be able to perceive. And before I go further, I would like to share an important concept that may be making things more clear to you, is to understand about the spiritual vibrations. And the concept of sattva, raja, and tama is in a way this three subtle component as the subtlest component, spiritual vibrations, and in a way that is comprised, or it is in a way the matrix of the universe. Everything is comprised of those three components, and I would like to show you an image that may help you to understand a little bit more, and I will explain more in detail. So these three vibrations, one is what we call sattva, and it is a very subtle vibration. It is a positive vibration, positive energy, and this is actually purity and knowledge. And then there is another energy called raja, and this energy is energy of action, and this action is required and necessary for all what we do around, to move, for things around us to happen. And we have the third energy, that is tama, that is a negative type of vibration, and it is ignorance and inertia. And all of us, every human being, even plants, animals, are comprised of those three components in different degree. And of course, just to give an example, a person who is honest or a good person, even doing some spiritual practice, will have more sattva in them. And if the person is spiritually evolved, then they will have even more positive energy, more sattva principle in oneself. And when a person is more dishonest or doing bad action, bad deeds, and are not or hurting others, actually they may have more tama, negative, in them. So of course, depending on our spiritual capacity and development, we vary in the three components. The raja will be equal in all, because this raja in a way is required for actions. I don't know if you have any question on that. Some of you can also ask question about this if it is something not clear to you. So when we come about spiritual research in regards to an eclipse, so of course there are different type of eclipse. There are solar eclipse, there are lunar eclipse, partial or total, and now today we are talking about a total solar eclipse. There is at that time an increase in the atmosphere of Raja Tama, and of course then the sattva, the positive vibration, reduce in the atmosphere. And this increase of Rajatama can have a detrimental effect on us. It is actually subtle, intangible, so we may not be able to notice initially that effects that it has on us. See, just to understand about the physical aspect of an eclipse, actually, because it is an anomaly if you look at the cycle of day and night, and this is a balance between day and night. So during the day, at that time, there is an obstruction from the moon obstructing the sun, so there is no light, so there is a time of darkness. And because it is actually breaking this balance, it increases this negative vibration around us, because it should be more light, and actually at that moment there is more darkness around us. And also one important aspect, and this I will go maybe a little bit more detail later when we ask question. When you ask question, I may emphasize more about this point. It's at the time of an eclipse, what happened on the subtle dimension. See, when somebody passed away or died and we are close to us, if they are not able to move in the afterlife, they get stuck in another world. And in a way, they come back to us sometimes either to ask for help or can affect us also. And during an eclipse, those departed ancestors, some of them use that time to actually affect the descendant. So of course I will share as I share, and if you have questions on that, don't hesitate. So mainly, see, now I shared, so actually a solar eclipse, and just to share also, see, we have partial eclipse. When there is total eclipse, then it's more effective, and especially a solar eclipse is more spiritually detrimental as compared to a lunar eclipse. So what to do? Actually, there is a do what we should do and what we should not do. Usually we always think, oh, what I should do, but we never pay attention of what we should actually not do. So I will be sharing different do and don'ts, and of course in one of them we can go in more detail as well. So what actually we should do during a period of solar eclipse is practice spirituality, because just to understand again the same thing as I shared before, we are all comprised of those three components. So we have positivity, negativity, and this action required within us. And spiritual practice is to try to reduce this Rajatama in us and increase the positivity within us. This is in a way a long-term spiritual practice by purifying our mind, purifying our intellect, our ego. So at that time the spiritual purity as well as positivity increase within us. So at that time what we should do, because there is an increase automatically in the atmosphere of Rajatama, of negative vibration, spiritual practice will help to nullify this negative vibration, and of course help us if we do more spiritual practice to grow spiritually. And one of that step I will be sharing in the end. It's what spiritual practice, simple spiritual practice we can do to protect ourselves during a solar eclipse. So some of you, I don't know if you know about what we should not do. Some say we should not look at an eclipse. So that is one, or we can look at an eclipse with glasses. But just to understand that, as I shared, now these intangible vibrations we may not notice. So whether even we wear glasses, it doesn't protect at all from the spiritual vibration. More is today, there is a trend, more people, because when there is a solar eclipse or even a full moon, some people say we can meditate or we can do ceremony or different rituals to gain benefit from this solar eclipse. So some people pray or meditate to get benefit. So just to, as I shared now, this solar eclipse is an anomaly. So when we pray to a specific event, then what happens? We attract that vibrations towards us. So if it is a negative vibrations, so even you try to do something positive from the outlook, such as meditation, praying, or ceremony, actually what we do, we just attract the vibrations. So the vibration are attracted towards us. So actually it is completely opposite. So we recommend it will be better to avoid meditating for that specific event. Another aspect also is it is better to avoid taking important decisions. See, just similarly as these three components in us can affect positively or negatively our thoughts and of course our actions. And when we are in a bad mood, we are not good by mind. At that time, often we may find that our actions or our decision may be incorrect. So that's why as there is an increase in the atmosphere of this negative component, it is better to avoid to take important decisions it can be personal decision, it can be business decisions. So any important decision should be avoided during an eclipse time. There are other three things that you can avoid to do more on the physical level. One is during a specific time of eclipse, it is better to avoid sleeping because at that time we are more vulnerable because there is, of course, as I share that increase of negativity. We also, that is also we have published on our article, it is better to avoid sleeping at the time of sunset. Because at the time of sunset, at that time there is an increase of negative vibration in the atmosphere. Another one, we also suggest it is better to avoid not to go to the toilet, to the bathroom, because of the very act of itself is to remove this tamak component within our body, and the bathroom itself has the lesser positive place in our house. So if we can avoid going to the bathroom, that is best. Also, we suggest to avoid eating during this period of eclipse because the act of eating generate that digestion problem that is more raja component, and mainly if a person start eating non-vegetarian, that is meat or fish or alcohol, then at that time that will enhance a person to be more affected. So if the person can avoid, of course, depending on the age of the person and their diet, that is less important. But if a person can refrain from eating during this period, is advisable. And the last one is we also suggest to avoid sexual intercourse because at that time also there is an increase in desire or rajatama predominant. So it's better to avoid those actions. If you have questions so far also about the different points I've shared, don't hesitate. Just I will go back to one of the first thing with what we can do or what we could do is about spiritual practice and one simple step. Of course, if some of you are already practicing spirituality or spiritual practice, you can do your own practice. But if some of you are new, what simple practice I can do during an eclipse is a simple step of repeating a divine name in mind. So what happens is we have different thoughts in our mind and our mind is always active, and repeating a divine name in a mind helps to bring our mind to calmness, stand still. So in a way, see, there is meditation. Meditations, it's a technique that we all know in the West. It's to actually make the mind to become empty so we can achieve concentrations, meditations. And chanting is actually an ancient technique from India, not so much known in the West. It has the same aim, same target, is to actually to make the mind stand still so we can experience concentration or meditation. And the advantage of chanting is it can be done anywhere, anytime, as compared, of course, to achieve our meditations. We have to sit in a calm place with no sound, and usually to achieve a meditative states, we should practice it for many years. Otherwise, the thoughts keeps coming to our mind. So on good days, we may be able to meditate, and some day when our mind is more active, then we may find difficult to achieve concentration meditation, as compared to chanting, we are the one, we are repeating effort by making conscious efforts, and we can do it different activity. It can be during walking, it can be during also washing dishes, or it can be done while driving, it can be done while cooking. And at that time, you may have also wonder when or experience that often when we do an activity, our mind keeps wandering past and futures and think all the time and may not be always connected to the action we do. So we waste, and 80% of our thoughts sometimes are unnecessary. And chanting helps us usually to reduce those unnecessary thoughts, and as well these spiritual principles that name, form, and energy coexist. So when we repeat a divine name, we attract also this divine principle within us and act as a protective shield. So that's why repeating the divine name in the mind helps to protect us also during an event such as solar eclipse. We'll paste in the chat about if some of you would like to know more about the solar eclipse. It's about this article that we have that explain how we can repeat a divine name in mind. We can play also for a minute now. You can either repeat the divine name as per your religion of birth, or some of you may be repeating mantras also. Otherwise, you can repeat the universal chant that is Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So how we do, you just initially, for some of you who are new, we can paste the link in the chat, and you can download for free the audio, and you can play it in low tone in your house and repeat also during the eclipse. So what we will do now, we will play the divine name for 1 minute as we have played in beginning, and you can try to practice. You can close your eyes and you can try to repeat the divine name in mind.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Sorry. Just to share, you can try to follow as per, for those who are new, you can try just by listening and to repeat at the same speed. Better to repeat in mind, it has more effect.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
So, dear seekers, just to share that it takes time, of course, because when we are not used to it, our mind always give many thoughts to us. So it usually, but it takes time. You will see it's a practice that actually help us in our daily life, in our daily activity. It helps us to remain stable, calm, because at that time, see, when we have so many thoughts become stress, we have tension. But at that time when we are able to concentrate, we're able to chant. So it helps us in the different activity we do. So dear seekers, also about this practice, please do try. We will share with you in the hand, we have some collective meditations that where we can practice often. So dear seeker, if you have any questions of what we have spoken so far, I think already some of you already started sharing different questions. There is a question from Anil Ilgaz. You said tomorrow, is it safe to go swimming in the sea? I don't know from which country you are from, if whether you are in USA, and definitely not, because at that time, during this time, there is more negativity. Actually, also to share that everywhere in the world, even though wherever we are, in the USA or Canada, it is more harmful. So whatever we do may have a more direct effect. But wherever we are in the world, that also, see, just to explain, like new moon or full moon, it happened on a particular day and it is worldwide. And quite often, and interesting enough, is we have seekers across the globe from different continents, and they experience during new moon or full moon at that time more disturbance. So because the subtle world is one, no? So if we can avoid doing such activity, it is better. You can do for the next day. From real Chris, it said, is it good to fast tomorrow? It is a good thing if you can do that, depending on your health condition. At SSRF, we don't usually promote fasting, but sometimes it can help, and especially if you are in that age condition, that is fine. You can do fasting. But just to remember, chanting, because see, we do fasting, there are different practices such as just fasting. But fasting take care mainly on the physical body. But when we repeat a divine name like chanting God's name, as I share, we attract the divine principle within us that also helps at the subtle body, our mind, our intellect. So that is as a more bigger effect. So of course, if we do chanting, it's important to combine. If we do fasting along with chanting, then the results are much more. There's another question from RF. You say, is the effect in Europe also as intense as in the USA? And is chanting Shri Gurudev Datta the right mantra tomorrow? So you have two questions. So the first question is, as of now, for Europe, so Europe will be, from tomorrow, it will be a more direct impact on USA and Canada, because it happened at the physical place there. So it will have less effect in Europe. That is from tomorrow. But in principle, the subtle dimension is one. So ultimately, later on, we may experience the side effect, we can say, of the eclipse wherever we are in the world. And your second question is chanting Shri Gurudev Datta the right mantra? It is a good question because I have shared now initially that we are more likely to be affected by our departed ancestor during a solar eclipse, because at that time there is an increase of Rajatama, negative vibration in the atmosphere, and ancestor will take advantage. So yes, it is the best to repeat this divine name. So just to explain it a bit more in detail for those who don't know, see about this concept of departed ancestors. So we have an article, many articles we explain about this topic. So if we can paste the landing page, you can study that, but I will explain now in short. Is when a person dies, ultimately see what in this world, no, we gain money, we get houses, car, but when we leave this earth plane, we don't carry anything with us. The only thing that we will carry is our spiritual energy. So when a person does spiritual practice, then they carry this spiritual energy in the afterlife, and they're able to continue their journey in the afterlife, and in some of them get reborn. But in case of those who don't do any spiritual practice and don't have much spiritual energy, they get stuck in the afterlife. And what they do, well, then they can come back to their descendant, either to get help or sometimes to fulfill some different craving or desire, because they don't have a gross body. And quite often, different problems that a person may face in this life that doesn't go despite different treatment can be caused because of departed ancestors. And we have published on our article many testimony. Some seekers were able to overcome eczema just within a few months, just by repeating the divine name of Sri Gurudev Datta, even though he have tried many doctors, many cream or steroid, because the root cause of the problem is actually spiritual in nature, but not psychological or physical, even though the symptom is physical. Some were able to overcome addictions, smoking or drinking, as I share, because the subtle body or the ancestor, as they don't have gross body, can fulfill some of their craving or desire, and some seekers were able to overcome within a short span some addictions. So of course we recommend for everyone to repeat that divine name, because it, regardless of the religion we are, because it is a principle. I myself was able to overcome smoking within 3 days just by repeating the divine name of Sri Gurudev Datta. Even though I was born as a Catholic, and it was even difficult for me when it was told to me, I could not even pronounce it properly. There is an article you can read also about my case study. So we actually recommend and suggest whoever starts spiritual practice, do try to repeat this divine name of Sri Gurudev Datta, because for many it will help and change their lives. So of course tomorrow we have played also just before the divine name of Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. But if some of you also, you can repeat the divine name of Shri Gurudev Datta. We can also paste the link in the chat about the audio of Shri Gurudev Datta. You can download also this audio. There is another question from Milena Gnezevich. Are there any restriction, food, water for seeker in Europe? Should we give priority to data chant during eclipse? For Milena, there is not a restriction. We suggest we should not eat any meat or alcohol, even though you are in Europe. If we can avoid during that exact time, even though we are not in a physical, it will not be in our physical presence, the eclipse. But during this exact timing that the eclipse will take place in America, I think it's around 1 p.m. Maybe we can, some seeker we are moderating can maybe paste the timing that the eclipse will take place in USA. So you can of course see as per your time zone, and if you can always avoid eating at that time or drinking, that is best. But of course it is less detrimental as the person who is in USA and Canada. Another question from V Chang. If we need to work tomorrow, how do you recommend protecting oneself and one's children? See, V Chang here, you can't change your habits, so you have to go to work. But as I shared, you can at that time, if it is new to you, you can try to repeat the divine name, or you can listen to the divine name. You can play the audio of the divine name in your house, and you can pray also for divine protections. But mainly, the prayer is less effective as compared to repeating a divine name, because just by listening or especially repeating, we attract that divine principle. So you may not want to change your habit, but you can see what you can do, what is possible for you as per your agenda. There is another question from Primberly. Can we do Nyas during the eclipse? Definitely. So Nyas is a hand posture mudra, or bringing the 5 fingers together and placing in the different chakras while we do either meditation or chanting. So definitely any spiritual practice will be beneficial. There is another question from Yasmina. At what time the eclipse occur in Zagreb? I think we can see, as I share now, Seeker will be pasting the exact timing of the solar eclipse taking place in USA, and you can just had I think around 6 to 7 hours. I think or 7 to 8 hours. Just not to be mistaken, please check. Another question from Sachin Kudikar. Can you please suggest whether we can photograph the solar eclipse? So my question is, what do you feel in the answer? See, just as I share now, the eclipse is an anomaly because it obstructs the light. So it will generate negative vibration. So whether taking a photo, looking at it, or taking a photo, it's the same thing, because we are in a way indirectly looking at it, or later you will look at the photo. So that will also affect, because image also attract at that time the vibration at that moment. So it is better to avoid. I know some people find it very fascinating and they want to see what happened, but just to understand, just by looking at it, it will affect us. There's another question from Satish Chandna. In India, eclipse timing is midnight, which is sleeping time. Should we avoid sleeping till the eclipse time is over? You can see, Satish, because as I share, the most important is at the time of USA and Canada, and I think the eclipse is just few minutes. It will be quite short, but you can see ultimately, as you are in India, it's quite the other side of the planet, so it is fine at that time. What you can do, you can play the divine name in your room while you are sleeping. If of course you can't, there is no problem for you to stay awake and chant consciously during that time. It is better, but of course tomorrow maybe there is work, so at that time then you can sleep. There's another question from Nasirma. The same question as you said. This is the same question as Satishanda. So it is the same question. Okay, actually we have our seeker clubbed it together. So I think Narshima, you must have got the answer also. There's another question from Roshi Bola. What can we chant now during the eclipse? That's a good question, because now there are two names that we mentioned. One is the divine name of Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, and the other is Shri Gurudev Datta. I don't know if you are practicing spirituality or you are familiar to one of those two chant. If not, you can try maybe the divine name of Shri Gurudev Datta. So you can try to listen to it and try to repeat slowly as per the speed of the audio. That will be more beneficial. There is another question from Priya. Since the atmosphere will be full of negativity, is it okay for me to wear my... Sorry, just not to type... I will repeat the questions. Since the atmosphere will be full of negativity, is it okay for me to wear my SSRF locket on this day? I was thinking all the negativity will be drained, the positivity from it. You mentioned not to do meditation during the eclipse, but isn't chanting a type of meditations? Can you please clarify what you mean about no meditation during the eclipse? It's a good question, huh, Priya? So about locket, now I think on our website, on the shop, we sell locket, data locket or Krishna locket. Actually, we should wear them because they protect us, they help us. And just see about meditations. What is the difference between meditations or chanting? Actually, chanting, we call it also jap meditation, but there is a difference because there are different ways also of meditations. But in meditation, some person meditate and they just concentrate and just open also. So at that time, what can happen? Some people see meditate after midnight, and some people have experience. They just try to meditate and they feel something is pressuring here or something is entering. At that time, when we try to meditate or concentrate, if we don't have so much practice, what can happen? We may tendency to let go and we open, depend on everyone's ability. And at that time, negative energy can affect us or we absorb those negative vibration until unless we are able to achieve a higher level of meditation concentrations. In regards to jap meditation, chanting, is as I share now, we attract a divine name while repeating that name. So that is far more safe and secure. Actually, meditation is a correct practice. But this practice was thousands and thousands of years ago. People were able to meditate for years together and achieve spiritual progress. But in today's time, meditation is a trend, is fashion, but it is not, people are not to be able to achieve meditative state. To achieve meditation, the mind should be almost empty. At that time, the person is able to enter immediately in a meditative state. So that's why in today's time, as negative energy is predominant and very high, and at that time, some people, I've come across many people who try to meditate and they either find it very difficult or some are not able to achieve concentration, meditation. Some got actually be affected while meditating at night. So that's why chanting, the difference is you attract this divine energy. You don't meditate on your own muscle. Meditation is we try to do it with our own muscle, no? To make our mind empty. But chanting is you get that divine principle within you and that protects you, that protects your subtle body. And you imbibe, as I share now, that principle, name, form, and energy coexist. So we attract that principle within oneself. That's why in today's time we are in Kali Yuga. This is the edge of the universe where we have now Satya Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Treta Yuga, and Kali Yuga. And in Kali Yuga, the best spiritual practice recommended, which is easy for today's time, is chanting God's name, jap meditation. And what we said during eclipse now, there are, as I share, there are people who meditate during special events like full moon, eclipse. So they meditate with that intention to get something from that event. And that event is negative. So if we do with that intention, then we will attract that negativity within us. There's another question from Christina. What spiritual emotion can help me to fast when it is not easy for me? That's why, Christina, at that time, more important is chanting. As I shared, fasting is required to the physical body, and chanting will take care of protecting our mind, our body. So that's why, at that time, you can't, because see, everybody is different, no? If somebody has to eat, you have some physical problem, so you have to eat. At that time we should not worry, but at least we should eat some foods that are not like meat, fish or alcohol. At that time it's better to chant. Chant is the best solution. Actually, this is a good comment from Pemberley. You said, actually you hit the like button, spread the message, because many people don't understand eclipse. Hundreds of couples are getting married during eclipse. Exactly, there is what I shared. There are in today's time an incorrect trend and fashion to do ceremonies, to do special event during eclipse, because I think it will bring something different, but actually it brings negativity. See, when we speak about spirituality, spiritual dimension, what is important is, as I shared in beginning, every actions or event will create either a positive vibration or a negative vibrations. And this either affect us positively or negatively. That's why people just do things without thinking, because it looks interesting, it looks different. But nobody pay attention what is the vibrations emanating from an action or from an event. That is what we have done, as I shared in the beginning, in conjunction with the University of Spirituality. We are doing research with biofeedback device where we measure aura of seekers, aura of also some object, and we have done some different research we have published on our website. We have very interesting articles on soil and water that we have collected more than thousands different type of soil and water sample that we were able to analyze with a biofeedback device, and it measures the aura. And it was very interesting to see that often the water that you find across the world are more negative in nature. And in today's time, because see, in today's time nobody does spiritual practice. In today's time, everybody indulges themselves in worldly fulfillment, is a desire, positions, and that generate greed, generates anger, and we can see what is happening around us today in the world. I don't know if some of you are witnessing of, we can see an escalations everywhere in the world, because in today's time, negativity in the world has increased, and that is why it is now in a way more visible as compared to 1 decade ago. That's why it is important today to practice spirituality, as if we grow as an individual, then we will be protected. We will not be affected by the different events like a solar eclipse or the different events that happen around the world. Even I just came back now from a travel, and I just met a lady. I was in Hamburg, and she told me, I don't want to look at news, because she said just by looking at news, she just get affected by all the different problems that is happening currently across the world. We have also shared on our website more than 15 years ago different events that takes place or is happening, as well as climate change. We can see also there is a big change, even though people are speaking about it for years, but nobody wants to believe of what is happening. Actually, there are, just to go back to your questions, I think it is from InTube. You say, how much time will take for us to become normal or positive? You say sattvic is a good Sanskrit word, after we stop eating non-vegetarian food. If I'm vegetarian for the past 1 year, can I benefit from chanting during this eclipse? So again, we have published an article about vegetarian and non-vegetarian, and what happened when we start eating meat or alcohol, what is the effect and how long it lasts. And when we practice spirituality, it will depend again, when we practice spirituality, about the intensity, the much practice we do. See, let's say I will chant half an hour per day. So it will take many, many months or many, many years to purify my physical body, my mind, my different subtle bodies. But because 1 hour out of 24 hours or is less, but if we try to repeat few hours per day, then that purification happen much faster. But of course, if we are not used to it, how to increase gradually? Half an hour, 1 hour. Then if we start doing during random activity, then it will automatically increase by 2-3 hours. How much time we spend just by traveling, cooking, walking, many hours per day. If we can look deeper, how much time we spend with which is not required to concentrate. So immediately we'll be able to chant many hours per day. Some things like, oh, I have to chant half an hour. It's not possible. I'm so busy. I have so many things. In reality, we have much more time than what we think because we don't pay attention where our time get wasted. How many time we watch TV? 1 hour, 2 hours. At that time we can just do chanting instead. No, but our mind wants to watch TV. Our mind wants to watch YouTube. Our mind wants to do something we like. That's why spiritual practice is to try to reduce. Although we become slave of our mind, we become slave of our five senses, mind and intellect, then we become attached to this world. That's why we have to keep on thinking and study and put into practice. Spirituality is about practice, it's not about theory. I will read book now and that's it. No, it's practicing spirituality. To those who think I have too much time, chanting half an hour is not possible for me. So I will ask you, make a timetable, look how much time you are taking for yourself, how much time you may be able to chant during a random activity. You may be surprised by yourself. By 2-3 hours you will be able to chant. And imagine if you chant 2-3 hours per day, then you will experience a lot of changes within oneself. And there's a question from RF is what will the eclipse change in world's politics? So I'm afraid it may not change, but it may increase furthermore problems in politics. That is what eclipse does. They helps to increase negativity, in the environment. So I don't think politicians today are all positive. There's a question from Gabi Mona Modi. You say, so during the duration of the total survey, it will last 2 hours and 30 minutes. Actually, you are right. It's the time it travel all the way. This comment is so they are putting some comment from here, so I need to read to understand. So you can see, I think maybe some of you can go on the internet. It seems it explains more of the exact durations. So see, if we can refrain, it depends again if you live in USA, Canada, or Mexico. At the time, it is best to try to refrain ourselves from what I've shared, no? But if you are in another part of the world, and that's fine. Those don't, as I shared, can be less, but we can try to see what is possible. More important is we should try to practice spirituality, repeat God's name in our mind. That will be the real protection. From Amit Hamin, you're asking, can you donate during eclipse? Any reason why we can't donate during eclipse? See, we go shopping now during eclipse. So all whatever we do, it's not. See, maybe your question is more, is it auspicious to donate during an eclipse? Whatever spiritual practice we do, and donations is one aspect of spiritual practice, but it should be done without any expectations. But to understand, donation is one part, no? Chanting is also very important. So I will just donate and I will not do anything. That will not help me in my spiritual progress. Mainly we should, so donating help us not to get rid of our greed or attachment. That is a good thing. That's help us into some level of progress. But what is more important is how I can purify my mind. How can I purify my ego? Reduce my ego. That is important. So those who have attachment, greed, then it is helping to donate helps to overcome this attachment. But remember, in spirituality there are many steps. One is called chanting, or one is called satsanga, attending groups of seekers to speak about spirituality. One is to do service, seva. One is donating. One is how to reduce ego within oneself. One is how to reduce defect within oneself. Another aspect is how to develop spiritual emotion within oneself. Like that, there are 8 steps of spiritual practice. Of course, if we want to progress, then we should try to do all the steps, but how to gradually do one by one or increase those steps. We have explained much more on our website about the 8 steps of spiritual practice. We can paste also in the chat about this link. There's a question from Rajmi Rajay, whether it is advisable to chant in the midnight during eclipse duration, as eclipse in Malaysia is midnight, till 5 a.m. At that time, Rashmi, because you are from Malaysia, no? It will be very, very late and it is the other side of the world. At that time, you can sleep. You can sleep and play the audio of the divine name where you are. There's another question from Sachin. You say, is it okay to do some Sat Seva, that is Seva, service to God, along with chanting during solar eclipse? Yes, that is the best. If we are able to do service to God, Seva, as well as chanting during eclipse, that's the best practice, because then we are in Sat, no? Sat is we are in the positive vibrations. There's another question from Vichang. My family will travel across the US tomorrow via plane. Do they need protection and chanting at this time? Actually, if they are traveling by plane, it will be, you can suggest to them to repeat the divine name, or they can listen during the divine name while they are traveling. There's another question from Satsing. In California, the kids have break at school and lunchtime during the time of eclipse. Is there anything I can do to protect them apart from making prayer for protections? See, children, we can't change. As I said, they go to school, no? They go to school and they have to eat. At that time, we can tell them. I don't know if some of them may be able to chant. So we can tell them to chant also. So it will help them. Ultimately, you can pray only for yourself. You can pray for them also. Usually a mother may pray to children. It may help to some extent. But more important is if we can tell them about chanting. Because even though they may be small by size, no? Spiritually, we never know. They may be more advanced. Then another question from Nelly. Are the solar eclipse energy impacts the same in the north hemisphere and the south hemisphere? As I shared, Nelly, at the physical plane, it will of course have more effect now where it happened at that moment at the level of USA, South America, little bit of Mexico, USA and Canada, where the eclipse will travel. But from the subtle plane of existence, at that time, that can affect actually everywhere later. This can affect, as I share also, when there is a full moon, it has effect everywhere in the globe. Even though it happen, it is visible to us, of course, wherever we are in the world, but from subtle point of view, it affect everywhere. There's another question from RF. You said, can you please tell us more about the origin of chanting, the divine name? It is coming from Indian traditions. Actually, about chanting the divine name, it is written in different scriptures a long time ago. It's a very ancient technique that is not known in the West. It is used also in different religions. It is not only used in Hinduism, it is also used in different religion as well, in also Islam. They also do chanting. So it is a very ancient technique. But of course, in the West, we have been more fascinated with the aspect of meditations. But just actually, meditations is not the is not the correct word, because it's a cross-leg posture, sitting in a cross-leg posture, but actually it is to achieve meditation. It is to achieve a meditative state. It is a mind that needs to achieve meditations. It is the same. Chanting is the same thing, is to achieve a meditative state. So what happens is when the person's minds become empty, there is no thoughts, then concentration starts. Because what happens when we try to meditate or when we try to chant, at that time we try to reduce the influence of the mind and intellect. They start going in a sleep state. See, when we close eyes, we shut down the five senses. Meditation, we don't want sound, so we don't want to be affected by the five senses from outside. And then we want the mind and intellect to calm down and go in a sleep state. And at that time we achieve meditation, meditative state. That's why chanting or meditation is the same thing, but it is more easy because we can do it anywhere, anytime. And later on, when we grow spiritually and we chant all the time, and what happens? Chanting happens in the mind, in the subconscious mind. So we may be doing some activity and our mind is chanting. So actually we are in some type of meditation only. We are not affected by different situations around us. As compared to meditation, we sit in a calm position and then we go to supermarket. Somebody by mistake hurt us. We get angry. That meditation is lost only. Gone. No more meditation. But when we do chanting, we remain calm because in supermarket also we can chant. So at that time, if something happens, we remain calm. We don't get angry. We remain stable. So that's why chanting is not so much known in the West, and it is very simple practice, but it takes time until we should repeat, and slowly that impression of chanting will get impressed in our mind. Everything we learn through repetitions. We learn language by repetition only. So same thing, chanting is done through repetitions. And after that, chanting happens automatically. There's another question from Imani. You said, apart from chanting, is there anything else that we can do during eclipse to take advantage of this time to boost spiritual practice? So Imani, there are different types of spiritual practice, as I share the 8 steps. So one is chanting, One is called Seva Satsanga, how to work on reducing defect within oneself. So we can refer to that article, and if you want to try some of the other steps of spiritual practice, you can try during that day to do more spiritual practice of the other steps also. And there is a comment from Vichang. You say, you thanks for this live stream, and you say, of course, it is better knowing that there are ways to protect ourselves. So, dear Seeker, just to share to all of you, and we have also during the week 4 sessions of what we call meditation for everyone, but it's actually we play during that time the divine name, so it is actually meditation with chanting. And what we do, we play the divine name in the background, and everyone can do practice meditations or repeating the divine name. So we do 4 times a week for Monday, Wednesday, as well as Friday. It is from 6 to 7 p.m. Central European time, and it is 1 hour, 1 hour duration. And we do that meditation for around 50 minutes. And the other time is on Saturday. It is more for, we make it more early, 10:30 a.m. Central European time, so it can help seekers who are across the world in Asia, Australia. And it is, we do chanting in the mind. We do chanting or meditation. We go in a meditative state. So this, if some of you would like to try to join, you can join all our live stream, all our sessions are free of charge. Everything we do is done as our spiritual practice, our service to God. SSRF is a non-profit organization. We do it for helping others to grow spiritually. You can always support us. You can support us in different ways by spreading to others about our website, about our live streams, but telling others also the importance of spiritual practice in today's time. You can also donate to our cause. We are non-profit organizations, and we have seekers who are full-time practicing spirituality. We are also establishing an ashram presently in Germany. We have saints who are traveling across the world. We have Her Holiness Bhavna Shinde, who is traveling presently in Asia. She's in Hong Kong presently. And we have His Holiness Dan Gleshix, who is presently in Mexico, who is touring around South America. So that also has a cost. And they are actually spreading spirituality, tirelessly traveling across different countries to spread spirituality. And of course, our website, to maintain the website, as well as publishing new articles. So I invite you really to study our library of articles. I think there is another question that has come. There's a question from RF. You say, can you please explain, can one translate the word Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya? So yes, what it means is Om is a universal name, and is Namo is high bow to the divine principle present everywhere. It is in a way the translations, but when we repeat the divine name, we should say Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. There is another question from Sirius. Is there a spiritual significance for the place in the path of totality by destiny? It is not clear your questions. If you can reframe your questions, if you mean there is a spiritual where we are, if it's what you meant, depending of our destiny, if it is destiny to be where we are. Okay, somebody's Okay, understood. It is the destiny from where the eclipse will be total. See, just to share, the eclipse is it is for a phase, no? So it lasts for some time. Of course, we are in different country as per our destiny. So different event happen. Some event, like we can say there is an eclipse today. Some people in different country has war. So in a way, wherever we are, in which country we live in, is part of destiny. And in a way, we have also our individual destiny, and there is a collective destiny. In today's time, whatever is happening, wherever a person is in a particular country, whether they are born in that country or whether they live at that country at the moment of a natural disaster, we may say, or a war, as a time it is part of collective destiny or an individual destiny as well. Yes, Kathleen Connell, we will. You can look at the live stream. It will be on our YouTube channel. So you just go ssrf.org or the YouTube SSRF. We have also many videos of different live streams that we have, and we hope to have soon again also another live stream. We hope to have soon a topic will be is how to increase our own concentrations, because actually this is something we will all like to have. In some days we lack concentrations, and we will lack because our mind is more active. So sometime how to achieve a better concentrations, or how to have a good concentration, because that is in a way the key to success for everything, whether it is spirituality, whether it is work, or any task we want to do. Concentration is the key of everything. So we'll have a live stream in the next coming weeks. We will publish soon also, and we will have also either in the end of the month or beginning of May the 3 hours collective meditation. So it's like a parody, you know. I'm saying we should not meditate, and we say we do 3 hours meditation, but it is jap meditation, chanting meditation. So, dear seeker, wishing you a blissful day, blissful week. If you have questions, we have a live chat facility, so don't hesitate to come ask questions. We have seekers across the world in different time zones who answer your question usually within 24 to 48 hours. So don't hesitate to ask questions. And if some of you would like to learn more, practice more, we have made some online platform. One, you can speak to our seekers to know more about SSRF and what we offer also. And we have this online platform where you can join a satsang, spiritual online meeting, and you have seekers across the world where you share your experience, you learn from other seekers, and mainly we share this aspect of how to work on oneself to eradicate different, we can say, personality defect or something that helps us to become a better person, a better seekers, and to grow spiritually. So, dear seeker, wishing you a blissful day, blissful evening, and just be careful tomorrow. And hope to see you tomorrow in class for the collective. Actually, it's a good time, the collective meditation during the eclipse. Namaskar to all.